Hello, it's Desktop Version Jake here to welcome you into the next episode of Practically a Podcast. It's unlike me to be in desktop mode usually, and I have no actual excuse. I'm just lazy and it's late. And I wanted to get this podcast done because it's a great podcast. Of course, with that said, this is the first episode where it is only one guy. I talked to one guy and he gives me a little peek into his life. And he's a pretty cool guy. So I'm going to stop talking now. And of course, everything I just said in the previous podcast is contradicting everything about this episode. I don't typically want to make episodes one guy talking for the entire episode, but you know it'll probably occasionally happen where I am just so infatuated with the story that it's gonna be one big episode, and I'm not going to restrict myself from that. So yeah, enjoy the show, and I'm gonna stop talking now and then get into the thing. So enjoy the show.
I'm cracking open this other beer.
Hey, I'll
There we go. I got two on standby.
I'll crack open a brewski. Here. Let's see, what do I have? I have
cheers, man.
Branded
Cheers,
Brewing Milltown Lager. That's what I got. Cheers.
Oh, I just took a shot of that Bacardi. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's actually kind of yummy. Oh, yeah. All right, how are you, man? What's your name?
Good, dude. Pirate Crayons, man. I'll keep it to that.
Pirate Crayons.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you, dude.
Nice to meet you, man.
What's your life like, dude? What do your parents do? What do your parents do for work?
My mom was a nurse for like 35 years, and she delivered babies, which is interesting. And then my dad was a violinist. Then his first movie was E.T. And from there he went on.
Your dad's first violinist movie was E.T.
It was fucking E.T., dude. He played for E.T. And then from there, he just went to the, as far as possible, man. He's playing for Michael Jackson, Neil Diamond. In fact, Neil Diamond, he has some solos. Or maybe it's just one. I don't know how many it is, but it's definitely one solo that is the recorded soundtrack for Neil Diamond.
Dude,
my dad
what?
played for, and then like, man, Prince, dude, like every name. We had Alicia Keys, man. We had everybody, dude. The Godfather soundtrack, some of them. Not the first one, but I think it was the second and third Godfather movies my dad did. Dude, Finding Nemo, Aladdin, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, so...
Who is this guy? Don't tell me. You don't tell me. That's confidential. Yeah. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, we'll keep it confidential since VR chat, but yeah, dude, we met a lot of really cool people over the years. We had the guy, Carl Fortina. He's dead now, so I can use his name. But he came to our house when we were a kid. He was the accordionist for the Godfather soundtrack. He came to my house when I was a little kid, and he played the piano upside down, like his back on the bench, with his eyes at the ceiling, and he played like the whole Godfather soundtrack and some other songs.
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean he played the piano upside down? Was he was he sitting in a chair upside down?
No, like imagine like he had like his feet are on the ground, but his back was on the bench, and his face was towards the ceiling, and his arms were behind him.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
playing the piano.
I just knocked all my drinks over. That's all right.
Cheers to that, dude.
Hey, there's still beer in here. Cheers.
I'm taking a Bacardi shot for that.
Fuck.
But yeah, man, it was cool. My dad, one funny story is my dad asked, he was playing at the Hollywood Bowl, and he was getting ready for a rehearsal, and he saw this girl that she looked like she was like a stagehand, right? And he was like, okay, well, I've invited all these people to beer and pizza after rehearsal tonight, but I don't know who this girl is, and I feel bad. She's not talking to anybody. No one's talking to her, so I should probably invite her. So he goes over, and he asks this girl, he's like, hey, you want to meet my friends and my family? We're going to go out for beer and pizza after the rehearsal. You want to come? And she looks at him, and she goes, actually, I'd like to invite you and your family and all of your friends to my party that I'm having at the end of all this.
Who is this, your dad?
And yeah, my dad was talking to this girl. It ends up that girl was Alicia Keys, man. So, he ends up going the whole thing and everything. He's been to like who's the guy that writes Family Guy? He's been to his parties.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, he's been to his parties and quite a few others. We knew the Newman family, which are one of the biggest composers and conductors of like LA and all the movie industry. You got so many different Newman brothers. I can't even and David is one of them. David Newman. We grew up around
that sounds
him.
Really
we used to
familiar.
go to his house parties, but yeah, he did a few movies. There's like Randy Newman, I think, is another one. I can't remember the other ones. There's like 3 or 4 of them. But like they do all the soundtracks for so many movies. Other than like
dude, what the
John
fuck?
Williams, right? John Williams, is that his guy? The guy that did Star Wars?
Yeah.
We went to his retirement concert, which was awesome. It was at Disney Hall, and they had confetti and shit blow out of the ceiling, and
I have questions for you.
Troopers and yeah, so I can go on forever. So ask me questions.
No, you're good. What if it's not too personal. If anything's too personal, don't you can just be like, I don't want to answer that.
Anything, dude.
What?
I'm an open book.
What was your life like growing up, in this kind of environment?
Dude, it was really interesting because we had like on one hand, as a kid, you just think it's normal, right? Like not like what you just growing around this environment, so you're like, this is what the world is, right? Like you're just meeting celebrities and interesting people all the time, and you don't think twice about it, right? And I knew when I was like a teenager, I had my dad never taught me violin directly until I was much older, like in my 20s. But when I was in high school and stuff, he'd have his students teach me instead. And they would always go, dude, you have no idea who your dad is. Like, your dad is a dude. Like, he's a guy, and I never got it, I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's not normal for you guys to, like...
It's not normal that your dad is a violinist for AAA movies? What?
Yeah, right. Like you don't get to meet all the actors and stuff, and like take pictures with. I just saw a photo. Yes, I was moving this last weekend. And I found a photo of my sister and Miley Cyrus hanging out, and like shit like that. And I was like, that's whatever, like that's normal, right? Like shit like that, dude. Is just Do
you have any friends that you've made through this that you've come to realize that are well known?
No. So like it's weird because like I am musical and I take the time to like write my own music for fun and stuff, and I play my violin, I play my guitar, all these other things. But no, dude, weirdly enough, my father's a very unique guy. I'm more like my grandfather and my uncle, and I'm more like Well, I got in construction, so I sell construction, dude. I'm not anything like my dad. We're
You
like,
sell
me and him are
construction.
tight, but yeah, no, I'm definitely like a blue collar guy,
Okay.
But it baffles people's brains because I come in as a blue collar guy and they're like, dude, like people tell me all the time, like, dude, you're the only blue collar, white collar guy that I know that plays violin, that also played baseball and boxed, and like all this other shit. Like I used to backpack and all. Like I did all sorts. I lived a really full life, dude. Like if I died tomorrow, dude, I won't even be pissed, dude. Like I've got to live a lot of lifetimes and done a lot of cool things.
Yeah,
But
dude, kick ass.
a lot of that came from just the people I grew up around. I'd say like from my industry, the cool people I've met, like I put a putting green. It's the biggest house in all of America. It's called the One Bel Air, and there's a golf green they put on the roof, and I had a hand in that, which was really cool. I also did like I can't think of his name right now, but he's a famous boxer and he lives out here in LA. I didn't. My boss at his house, so I got to do his neighbors. But he was anyway. I got to meet famous people through doing construction because I got to do people's individual houses. At my last joint. Now I'm doing more big scale stuff, but um, yeah, when I was doing individual houses, it was cool. I got to meet some interesting people. I got to talk to the guy that plays Obi-Wan Kenobi on the phone. I didn't sell him the job, but what's his name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
About. Yeah.
Wait, I'll Google it.
Plays Obi-Wan in the early.
Let me Google
not
it.
the early ones, but the episode 1 through 3. He's a Scottish guy or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait. Hold on. Let me Google it. Here. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll Google it really quick. Who is the guy? Who's the guy?
Yeah, I can't.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
Ewan McGregor, dude. Yeah, I talked to him on the phone. I never got to sell him the job or anything, but at least I got to like. It was funny because I got the lead and I got on my desk and I was like, Ewan McGregor. Okay, just another guy out of my big list of people. And I call him and I'm like, this guy sounds like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then after I hang up the call, I'm like, dude, that's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I
Does
mean,
it
things like that.
I want to keep this question quick, but does
Yeah.
do these people tend to intimidate you at all, being such a high social status?
Dude. No, dude, like not at all. Cause I mean, dude, we're all human. I think they're most of them are really good. I think the people at the highest level know that they're the highest level and they don't want to be there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they want to be.
They want to be like us, like at the normal.
Yeah, they want to be depicted as real people.
Yeah, they don't want to be like this god,
Of course.
And I mean, like, I'll not to go deep into anything, but I'm a God-fearing man myself.
Fucking go deep as you want.
I don't fear people because of that. I only have one fear, which is God to me, right? And so like when it comes to people, to me they're just people, right? I'm just a person. Like as magical my life could ever be, I'm always just gonna be a guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same for them, but I think that most of them see that too, and they're mostly just people that, they do a thing, and yeah, they're in the limelight, and the whole world looks at them, but they're not very egotistical, and they're very chill, and they're very calm, and I think really the people that have the biggest egos are the people that are still trying to get there, the people that are still trying to get to the top are the people that really want to have they have those big egos and like you can't.
Yo, what's up, dude? Hey, listen, man? I'm recording for my podcast right. Brother, I'm recording for my podcast right now. Actually, there's a camera right behind you. I just wanted to let you know. I'll come chat with you in a sec.
Yeah, we'll come talk in a minute.
No, you're good, dude. Dude, that's a crazy story with that guy. That guy who just came in.
Yeah. I love FPL, bro.
Dude,
he's a thing, man.
I
know, man.
So I live in the city that he grew up in, and that's how I got to know him.
Oh.
Dude, he lives like a 15-minute walk from where I live right now. Like right down the fucking
nice.
street. It's crazy. Yeah.
You guys gotta hang out, dude.
I have, yeah. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. I met a guy on here. And we're best friends. He lives in Idaho now, but he lived in Phoenix at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest weekend of my life, dude. You might know him. His name on here is shit. I don't want to say his real name.
Don't. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
you can tell me about him.
I can't. It starts with an M, but he's cool as hell. But he came over at the craziest week of my life. So I used to be married, man. And I was married to this chick for, it was like, what, 16 months, 18 months. But anyways, I've caught her, and she was just being, she was doing the wrong thing, right? So, I get home that night, and I get on VR chat, and I'm like, well, that's the end of that. I have to divorce my wife, whatever. And I get on here, and my boy's on, and he's like, dude, I'm gonna fly to LA in the morning. And I was like, cool. It's like, yeah, can I come hang out with you? I was like, dude, come stay at my place. Like, I kicked my wife out, so come hang out. So he came over, and we hung out all weekend, dude. I introduced him to all my friends. We went to all the coolest bars in LA and Valley and everything. And then, dude, but it got crazy. So Sunday passes, and Monday he had to leave. Well, dude, he was playing VR chat that night, right? That Sunday night on my account, right? And I had an older brother, and apparently my older brother was basically he downloaded the game. This is a sad story, by the way. I'm just prepping you, dude. But
okay.
It's kind of crazy, like how everything goes. But my brother got on and had talked to Mark. Well, I'm not gonna say his name. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But it's on to him asking if it was me. Blah blah blah. Well, then my brother called me, and I talked to him for a little minute, and he didn't sound so good, dude. My brother was he had a lot of problems, and so the next morning I wake up, and I'm honestly, dude, I was still a little hungover from the weekend hanging out with the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like all this shit that happened. So I called out of work. I was the manager at this place at the time. I said, no, I got my other manager guy. He can take over for the day. I'm staying home. And at like 6 p.m., dude, I got this call from my now brother-in-law. My sister just got married 2 weeks ago. And he called me and he says, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but your brother, he's the coroner just called. And as soon as he said that, dude, I was like, oh no, dude. So yeah, I found out my brother committed suicide, man.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah, hard thing, dude, and went through all that and everything. But I think the interesting thing about that story, really the reason I brought it up is because, dude, I met someone on VR chat, was just an internet stranger, and had them over to my house for the hardest weekend of my life.
Yeah.
Like Friday, my wife's cheating on me. Fucking Monday, my brother's dead, right? And I had somebody that I had met online there, for at least for that weekend, man. Not that Monday, but even to this day, we talk, like, we hang out on here, and yeah, he lives farther now, and I won't be able to see him too often, but dude, we connect on a level, like, a lot of, like, other people will never get, like, yeah, I've had friends in real life, obviously, for 2 decades now, 20 years. And to them, it's just a story, but he lived it, he was there. And that's just like a quote unquote internet friend, which I think is just really cool, man. The power of the internet and meeting people through this is a really really cool thing for connecting people.
Yeah,
And
dude.
like bringing the right community together.
I love that. I feel like I've said this just recently in the past,
Yeah.
but like VR chat should be the catalyst to find the friends that you can hang out with in person, and
Yeah.
like to get the opportunity to get to like be around these people. Those are the truest VR chat friends you can make. And you know, and I mean, I can only imagine, dude, you know, for him to be there and experience that with you, you know, during that time, man.
Dude, he was going through some stuff too. His girlfriend at the time had just passed of a medical thing, so we were going through together. Dude, and I think, like, man, like, you know, like, um, it's just a game, right? It's just a game that you sit at home and you click on the icon, it loads up, and you're here. But you know, until you play it, until you start really getting to know people, that's all it is, right? But when you really start to get to know people on here, man, it's like, dude, this is a really good thing, you know, like the community on here. In certain places, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad communities here. You know, and I've caught on to that very well. I've been playing since 2019, but
so have I, yeah.
Yeah, so but there's really good people on here that really have nothing other to do than just like make friends and be there and like support you and listen to your, like, we all get on, dude, we're all drinking tonight. Like, why do we get on this? Because we don't want to drink by ourselves. Like, our friends from around town aren't going to be able to make it to our place. We want to drink and talk to people. We don't want to go to spend, you know, $100 at the bar. So go pick up a 10-pack, you know, or a 12-pack, I mean, for $10 or whatever, 50 or 20. Well, I don't know the price, but you bring it home and you have a bar experience for much cheaper, and then you make real connections with people for lasting times over and over. How many days, you know, throughout the week or whatever, and that's why I keep popping on, dude. I don't think I'll ever stop, man. VR chat's a good place.
No, dude, I've met a lot of great people here, and it's a great reason to why I do this. You know, exactly what you're talking about. It's like there's always something more to someone than what your projection is towards them. And in terms of this like digital space we're in, you know, there's always somebody's life on the other side of the virtual escape of what you're seeing in someone. And when you first start this, it's like, it's hard. It's hard to like, it's hard. Hell yeah. That was awesome. It's hard to really get that in your head when you first start VR chat. And it's just hard for people online to really gain that perspective, because there's such a big gap in terms of the physical attributes that, you know, come up, you know, when you're talking to someone. But when you can,
I bring that up too.
When you can,
keep going. Yeah.
No. Hey, I'll finish my yap here in a sec. But when you can stretch your hand out past that and really get to know someone, it's beautiful. You know,
right? Because it's good. And I think I took a shot of Bacardi while you're talking. By the way, if you want to take another shot,
I'm gonna do another little swiggy of my brewski. I'll finish it while you're talking to me.
I think that's also a really interesting thing, dude, man. Because like when you like, I work in sales, man, and I have to meet new people all the time of all ages, right? And you know, as much as I have to, as like, because it's my work, I have to diminish the idea of like, well, what you know, what how old are they? Are they woman or man or whatever? You know, like how to talk to them, right? It's a little different, but like when you meet people in public and whatever, you meet new friends of friends or whatever. Physical appearance can really impact how you see someone, right?
Yeah.
And I think, as I get older, I really try to diminish that as much as possible because I think it's more of a childlike thing. Because, like you're saying, it's like there's a mind that you're really speaking to, and like in my personal belief, like there's a spirit you're speaking to, right? And I really care about people's spirits and like who they really are. Despite the flesh mechanoid that they're operating through, right? There's a spirit that I'm speaking to. But I think what's cool about the internet and like in VR chat specifically, like I've hopped on like I have a friend that really likes Omegle, right? Like whatever, like the copycats of that now, because I think Omegle's gone or maybe it's not as popular, whatever. But like you get on there and people will just skip. They look at you and they're just like, no, I don't want to talk to that person. Skip, 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 skip. And like they're like, oh, that girl's attractive, so now we're just gonna talk.
You could apply the same thing to VR chat in terms of like an avatar. Like some guy will see a furry, or some like anime avatar, and you're like, all right, I'm not talking to you.
Those are like the guys that are just like, there's people on here, obviously the ERP and all that stuff, whatever. But I think what's interesting, like mostly cool, like I have friends on here that I have no idea how they look in real life, but I know them. I know them for who they really are because I've talked to them for years, and I know their problems, what they do for work, what their life looks like, their living situation, whatever it is, dude. I know that person, right? And so when I do get to meet up with them in real life, or like even if it's just like a Discord video call or something, right? And I see them for the first time, it's like it doesn't change anything, right? Whereas in real life, that first impression of how someone looks really changes a lot, and whether we like to admit it or not, it's how we're designed, like how we are as people. It's a thing we have to train. If you want, you can train out, but really it's like a thing it's a stigma, right? It's a stigma that we believe in. Like we think like, oh, this guy's overweight, so we assume all these things, right? Or this guy's really fit, so we assume all these other things, right? And vice versa, women, whatever, think all these things. But like, dude, when you really get to know somebody without even knowing how they look like, and then I think that's like when you really get to know a person for who they really are,
Absolutely.
It's easy. At least it's easy. It's easier as like an adult, I guess. As kids you don't care as much, but as an adult you grow up and you're like fed all this shit from the media or something, and it just gets a little tougher, I guess.
I really enjoy meeting people who are trying to be their truest selves online.
Yeah.
I enjoy the people who are, trying to present themselves the same way they would in any other social aspect. And those are the people that I think I really get along with. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get what you're saying, dude.
I totally agree, dude. I don't like anyone that's really fake.
Yeah.
I like the people that wear their heart on their sleeve, I try to be that person too, I think it's honorable.
How do you oh shit. Oh, I'm lagging. How do you think
You're good.
What's like a good way to navigate yourself through VR chat?
I think there's like it's like I know my moods. So some days like I get on and within 15 minutes I know like I always I get on and I'm usually here to like enjoy a beer, right? Like I get off work and I'm like I'm gonna enjoy a beer, right? And by the first beer I know like am I feeling it tonight? And if I'm in a bad mood, I just keep it to one beer and I go to bed, I'll go to bed early and get extra sleep or something. But if I'm in a good mood like tonight, I'll sit down, I'll crack open a beer, and I'll start shooting some shots and enjoying the company I'm around. And I think that over the years I've just found like most people just again a lot of people on here come here in the first place because they have problems for one, right? They got real life problems and they found an internet community that they connect with, right? Like, maybe they don't find that community around their house. I'm lucky. I live in Los Angeles, so I have I have community everywhere. I have so many different
Oh
characters I
yeah,
can meet within real
LA.
life. Yeah, but like I mean, on a daily basis, it's hard to be like, I work a salary job, so sometimes like tonight I didn't get home till 9:30 at night because I was working all day. Right? So like it's hard to go call a friend and be like, "Hey, come over for an hour."
Of
Like
course, yeah.
please drive 45 minutes to hang out for an hour. So this game has made it like um, you know, it has the opportunity, I can hop on and there's people that are already on and I know are going to be on and um, I can talk to them. But like going back on it, like again, like a lot of people, most of the community on here, dude, especially like drinking night or like these games where people drink, a lot of them just have like problems in real life that sometimes they're trying to really escape from, which I don't think is always the best. You don't want to just escape from reality. It's good to relax. But even then, you have an opportunity as somebody that's, I guess, a little bit more put together. I mean, for lack of better words, but to talk
No, I
to
think that's
people like
great.
that and offer them really good advice. Like, hey man, like I used to get on this game, dude, when I was like my life was shit, and I would get blacked out all the time, dude. And that's a dark reality of VR chat. Is you can do that, and no one really fucking can do anything or really care that much, unless they really know you.
I feel like people.
I mean, if I
I feel like people
yeah.
encourage you almost to get blackout drunk in
Yeah, I mean,
VR chat.
yeah, a lot of people do, and unfortunately, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, that is a thing, and like I've been that guy too, like when I was that guy as well. But I mean, once I started, as I got a little older. I mean, I'm only 27, bro. I'm young, but
I'm 24.
like there was, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're even younger, but dude, I remember, um earlier like this year because again like my brother had killed himself, right?
Mhm.
I started having anxiety and panic attacks for the first time in my life because it's like PTSD type shit, right?
Of course.
And um alcohol was not helping, and I think that changed me from being the guy that was like, I'm gonna drink an entire handle and get blacked out, wake up the next morning, still go to work, to being the guy that's like, I'm cool with like a few beers and chilling out and taking better care of myself too, because
Um.
I do want a future with my life. I don't want
Yeah.
to die super young. I don't care to live super old either, but I gotta take care of myself. And I look at people that are younger in the exact same seat as me, who are like, oh, my life sucks, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna drink myself to blackout stage every day. And it's like, well, you know what, dude, I'm here with you, and I've lived that life already. Can I encourage you to not do that, because you're gonna regret it, and it's probably not very good for you, right? So yeah, we're
I
all
have two
cooking
questions for you.
together, but like, yeah.
Um. I'll say the first one. Um. Where do you think people go when they die?
Dude, cause I'm Protestant, man, and I come from an Irish family. Um, Protestant's Christian, right?
Mhm.
There's got Catholic, got Orthodox Christianity. I was atheist a lot of my life. I was a little kid and I didn't know any better, so I was like, I go to church and I love Jesus, right? And that was just ingrained in me. But as I got older, um, I was very rebellious. I still am, dude. Um, but I had gone to, I'll fast forward through everything. And when I was in my 20s, I got in trouble a lot, dude. Like either with like my university, I got suspended multiple times. I almost got expelled at one point. Um, I went to jail. I should have gone to jail for a long time, actually, the second time. So I went to jail once and beat that case. And the second time, I really fucked up, man. Like, honest to God, like, I really did fuck up. and I really should have been. I should have been in jail, and I should have gotten out like maybe a few months ago.
How did you?
This is years ago.
What does that mean exactly?
This
To
is,
fuck up.
I was on the run, dude. Long story short, I fucked up big time, and I went on the run from the cops, and I had a detective on my case and everything, and
Holy shit.
I turned myself in, and after I turned myself in, 2 weeks later, they didn't even put me in cuffs or anything, but 2 weeks later, I I was like I like had started to become a Christian, I guess, right? And like I think there's a process to it. Like some people are like, oh, you just pray to God for forgiveness and it's over with. I think you have to develop a relationship with Him, but um, to each their own. I'm not really well read in a lot of things. I'm not super smart when it comes to all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm very agnostic, so I'm not a religious man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, but when I started praying a lot, and I was like, dude, like, Jesus, if you're real, can you please like not let me go to jail? And so I went to my detective on my case. Like, I have to meet with me on this date. So I go over there to the police department.
Can I ask why you were running from the cops?
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I was fucked up, and well, I did some bad shit, dude. I was just saying that.
Okay.
Bad shit. I should have gone to jail for like 5 years at least, and but I went to the detective, and he was like, dude, uh, I got I got bigger people to catch, and I can see that you're not that bad of a guy. You just really fucked up. He's like, he sat down with me, and he's like, dude, I he's like, I don't know how religious you are, but I prayed about it myself, and I don't want you to go to jail. He's like, so
That's what this guy said.
Case. Yeah, he ripped up the files right in front of me, threw them in the trash, and said, "Go home and don't ever do that again." And that was it. And so I got to walk as a free man, dude. Yeah. So I got home, and yeah, dude, I was like, wow, man, that's really nice, man. Like I should have been pretty in the tank for a while, and so
yeah,
got away with murder and stuff.
There's
like, I didn't murder anyone, but like, in a sense, like I was a bad dude. What I'll say, dude, is like I've been a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm a happy guy, dude. I'm a good guy, like to people that I love.
You did some bad shit. You stole diamonds from somebody in Minecraft.
I stole some candy canes from the Christmas store, man.
Yeah.
No, man. But at the end of the day, so getting back to your question though, because originally you asked me like, where do you think people go when they die?
Yes.
I personally think like there is a heaven, bro. I think there's a hell, and I think it comes down to like I think Christianity gets a bad rap because it's like, well, why would a loving God send people to hell? And it's like, well, God loves us, man, but he doesn't like. He's like, if you think about your dad, right? Your father figure, like your father wants to lead you, but your dad doesn't want to like force you all the time, right? And we have free will, and we can love our parents and stuff, or we can choose not to. And so like this life I see it as an adventure and a test in the same, like that's the two main things I see it as. Like money aside, like everything as aside, like for you as an individual, it's like an adventure and a test. And like we're seeing all these amazing things that like the world is, right? And like we're living amongst these like changes, and like I mean right now, dude, like AI is coming up. Like I'm living in a really cool time of history, right? But the test comes down to like my character. You know, like, is my character a person that like has a relationship with God, right? And like, you know, me being Protestant, you know, I can't speak for Catholics and Orthodox and stuff. I respect them greatly, man. I mean, they're very serious about their faith and stuff. And I like other religions too. I really respect them too. Like a lot of Muslims and Jews and stuff, they're very serious about their faith. I can't not respect that.
I like
But
that you're
like
saying all this
Protestants,
with a Master Chief helmet and only the American flag Speedo.
yeah, yeah. No,
To
but,
anyone who's listening to just this, to anyone who's listening to this, this guy's you have the Master Chief helmet from Halo, and you're
it's
this.
got jiggle
You're this.
physics too, dude.
Don't no. I hate no. You're this buff guy with a Speedo with the American flag with a bulge. And then that has jiggle physics, so it like jiggles around. That's great. I didn't. Okay, so I didn't mean to diminish what you were saying. I just thought that was funny.
I'm almost done with my point, but
Okay.
I think so. Like as a Protestant Christian man, we go to church and stuff. I don't go to church very much. But I do believe like having a relationship with God is a very real thing that you can achieve and do simply by praying. And God really does like God is like the best. I say God is my best friend, man. And like a lot of people think it's weird. It's like, dude, do you talk to a magical guy in the sky? You know, like, and like people that are outside of it, like, yeah, I get it. Like, you know, because I was atheist for a long time. It's like what the like I used to look at Christians and be like, these guys are so stupid, dude. Like these guys are so ignorant and everything. Like I'm like, I've never found a more stupid group of people, right? But that's a whole story in itself why I became one. But like, dude, it's definitely real. Like, you know, I pray and like there's a Bible verse that I can't remember the actual what like reference it comes from, like book and thing. But it talks about like when you pray, like the angels' wings come over you, dude. And every time I pray, dude, I literally feel like this like covering, like it's like a blanket that comes over my body, and I feel like nothing can hurt me. I feel like perfectly protected. And I talk to God, and God doesn't like, at least to me, I want to say I've heard His voice a couple times in my life, but like most of the time when I pray, it's like a feeling. It's like, hey God, like guide me in this portion of my life, and it will like affect me emotionally. You know what I mean? Like it's like speaking through a feeling of like, and it makes perfect like. I used to do psychedelics when I was young, dude. Like, you know,
Well,
like,
I
feel the vibe of people, you know. It's like that. It's like,
oh yeah, dude.
you like you pray to God, and like it's like I feel the vibe, right? Like I'm
You
like,
feel
God,
that.
how do you feel about
You
this?
feel that like that almost. For lack of a better word, like that psychoactive connection towards something external from your consciousness. Yeah, no, I get the comfort of of what God is. I mean, I'm very agnostic. I didn't grow up in a religious family, but you know, one of my best friends, I met him in 7th grade. He's Christian. He's very heavily Christian. I went to a summer camp with him that was teaching me about Christianity and stuff, and I get the personal bond that you have with God and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter what other people are trying to like perceive of you with it. It matters, you know, in your soul of like, this is what helps regulate me through the experiences I want to experience and the troubles that I have. So no, I get that. I have one last question for you, really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know how much time has passed, but we've been going for 43 minutes now.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love it. All right, I have one last question for you because earlier you were talking about your experiences almost with like PTSD from what you had gone through. And you had gained like anxiety and stuff like this. And I wanted to ask you, how do you regulate your anxiety?
That's a great question, dude. At first, well, I saw I'm dating my wonderful girlfriend, man. We've been going for almost a year now, or just over a year, actually. My bad. Um, she helped me a lot. I mean, she would. I always thought people like, people like would say like, oh, I'm having a panic attack, or like I'd hear someone had a panic attack. I'm like, that's not real, bro. Like that's like I always thought like because I never had one, I was like, oh, that's like a call for attention, And then one day I was sitting in my girlfriend's living room. We're watching TV, and she went to hug me, and I had that anxiety going, and she hugged me from behind, and I started freaking out, dude. Like I had to I had to lay down on the couch for like 2 hours, and it wasn't her fault that I was having a legitimate anxiety attack, like panic attack, and I couldn't breathe normally and like all this stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a real thing, like people actually have this. And so that was interesting. Like once I really knew what it was, because I had several before, but I just thought I was being weird, like I was just still doing my day at home thinking like, oh, why do I feel all weird and stuff, like why don't I want to talk to anybody.
So what helped you
get through it? Honestly, dude, our last conversation again, like praying to God about it, was a big thing for me. Two, just being like, dude, like, looking at myself from the third person, actually, like not looking at myself from within, but looking at myself from how other people view me. And I know a lot of people view me as a strong guy, mentally and like spiritually and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, dude, I like if I'm gonna maintain a good example to everyone, I need to have a handle on this. And like also I can't go to like I would have them at work, and that's not good, right? Like I work a high stress job in sales. I can't be having panic attacks and like crying in my office. I've literally broken down in tears in my office. I didn't tell anyone about it, but I'd have such bad days, and I would muster the strength, man. Maybe it'd take me a couple hours, but I'd find it myself, be like, dude, like you've worked so hard at life, like you've gone through so much stuff, like who are you, bro? Like who are you really, And like I had to ask myself these hard questions and like realize like, dude, I'm strong, man. Like I really am, and like I can get through this, and like not dwell on these things. And like, dude, I mean, even today I was driving around for work, and like while I'm driving, it's like, dude, remember when you were like cleaning your fucking brother's brains out of fucking shit, right? And like that shit hits me like all the time, dude. It's like a daily thing, but I have to find a way to be like, that thought has to go away. Like I feel like I think about my thoughts as like radio signals, right? Like you go in your car and you flip through the FM radio, right? And you find the one that you like, and while you're dialing that in, you're gonna find a lot that you don't like, and your thoughts kind of come the same way, right? You get a bunch of thoughts all day, and a lot of them are very intrusive, and you don't know where they're really coming from, and you're like, why am I even thinking about this? And you have to be really diligent to yourself of being like, yeah, why am I thinking about that? I'm not dealing with that right now. I'm dealing with this. Like this is what is important to me right now, and I gotta keep in shape and like deal with that because that's what's in front of me. I can think deeper later in my own time, but right now is not the time to, be thinking about these things that like give us like like you're saying PTSD, right? And on the other hand, though, I'll say like dreams and nightmares are another thing, like a thing of PTSD, right? And so when my brother had killed himself, And like even like I've had friends die of like terrible causes, or like car accidents or overdoses and stuff, and I have nightmares about that as well. Um, I um, I learned at a really early age. I was actually 6 years old when I learned how to lucid dream as a complete accident. But I kept that up through my life, and so when I have nightmares on a consistent basis, I'll make sure that I'm going to sleep in a way that's like I'm gonna lucid dream, so that when I face a nightmare, I can like look at it in the face and be like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like I'm done with it, you know. And it's that statement comes in a lot of different ways, you know. Like sometimes it comes with like talking to somebody in your sleep, or you know, or like fighting something, or you know, running away from something, whatever it is. Because I've dealt with nightmares like my whole life from a lot of different things, you know. That's a whole other story too. But I found it to be really good for like my mental health, to know how to lucid dream. So like for the people that have like waking nightmares or nightmares in general, I think like it would be really good for them to know how to lucid dream. There's like a million tutorials on YouTube you can watch. Because you really do.
I've never been able to do it.
Fears, like in the first person, but while you're asleep, it's really weird because you wake up refreshed, like, oh, I finally defeated that, you know, like in my head. You know?
Yeah, dude.
The mental landscape for all of us is so weird, man.
I always struggle.
Only know as individuals.
I always struggled with lucid dreaming. I can never actually do it. I had like moments where I'm like, because the second I'm like, all right, I realize this is a dream, I like wake up. I just wake up. Like I don't know, I just can't do it.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you a few tips. When you realize it's a dream, you can't say it out loud. It's weird, but like if because you have like, I don't know what it is, dude.
I can't help myself. I'm like this is a dream, and then
yeah, you have to realize it and not say anything, because the people, like, because you always dream, like, I don't know about you, but I always dream with other, like, there's other people, like characters, right? And the times that I've told them directly, and like so many people have this experience, but you tell them like, no, dude, you're in my dream, or like I'm dreaming right now. It's like the alarms. It's like a nuclear alarm goes off. They're like, no, you have to wake up now. Like, you can't know that.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is that? Why is that like that? I don't know. I don't think any of us will ever know. But that's how it is. So you have to like realize it and be like, oh, I'm in a dream. Okay, now I'm in control. And you can like.
It's like you have to like. From what I'm.
Give yourself superpowers in your dream and shit. Yeah. No. Go ahead. Sorry.
From what you're telling me, do you mean that it's like when you're in your dream, you have to have like an inner monologue in the dream?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
So it's like a double inner monologue.
Yeah, it's a double inner monologue of you. Like, it's like, it takes a minute, dude, but it's helped me with so much. Dude, I used to, I know, so I'm gonna get spiritual again, but like just for a second, because it's one of the reasons I became a Christian was when I was in college. I kept having this recurring nightmare, and it would be sleep paralysis. Actually.
Oh shit! Yeah,
and
I've had that.
I'd wake up and have sleep paralysis. And I see this like demon in my room, and I wasn't a Christian then or anything, right? But I was like, I'm just fucking tripping, dude, right? Like I've done a lot of drugs, so it's some weird thing. Well, then I kept seeing it, and then I'd see more of them, and then one day I saw my whole room was filled with them. And I was like, okay, I gotta like ask this thing like what it is, because like I'm not afraid, but I'm like, why do I see like a million demons in my room, dude? This is weird. So I asked it. I was like, what are you? And it's like, my name's Legion. Well, that's really weird, because now I'm like, I remember my church services talking about the demon Legion, and I'm like, that's a real thing, right? So I'm like, okay, that's freaky. And it's like, and it was asking me like, why are you so comfortable with me? And like, it was like, oh, you're such a great person, you know. I'm me being a terrible guy at that point in my life. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that anymore. But this thing, like, it would like follow me in dreams and stuff. Like after I became a Christian, it like hated me, dude. And I would see it in my nightmares all the time. Like it had this very distinctive look. And it had these eyes that would like grab me in a sense. Like it made my dream contort
Dang,
in the
dude.
weirdest way.
Hey, do
It was
you
freaky as hell.
do you mind if I pause
And-
really quick? I gotta fucking piss
Yeah.
really bad.
Dude, I got a piss too, dude. You
Go fucking piss, bro. Let's take a piss break
I'll
really
be
quick.
back in a minute, dude.
All right.
do it.
I got you.
Dude, perfect timing. I literally just got back on too.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready still?
I am ready.
Keep going. I'm done with I'm almost done with my statement, but
You're good.
getting back into it. But anyway, so I used to have like this thing like follow me in the dreams, and it'd be like really freaky, man, because I have all these like really symbolic dreams and stuff, and that's like a whole book in itself. But this thing would like keep like following me in like weird situations and dreams, and finally I was like, dude, I know how to lucid dream. Like this thing like takes over my dreams every time. Let me think about it, and like when I go to sleep, I know I'm gonna have a nightmare tonight because I've had a bad day, and like I know these things have been in my mind. I'm definitely gonna have a nightmare, but I'm gonna realize it and go kick this thing's ass. So I have this dream, and that thing comes over me again. Like, and dude, like when I tell you, like I don't know how to describe it very well, but it's like imagine you're in a dream and something just grabs you by the neck and like chokes you out, and, like while staring in your eyes.
Oh fuck,
you know?
dude.
Like it's weird, dude. You know, like and that's how it was every time. Well, this last time, I feel like this thing looks at me in my eyes, engages me, and it's like trying to do that again. But this time, I'm like so aware of it and so like, no, I'm not dealing with this anymore, and like. I'm gonna get over this, like whatever's following me, this like weird evil spirit. I looked it right back at it, and I was like, no, I'm the powerful one. And it was kind of badass, dude, because it was like I remember this dream specifically because I wrote it in my dream journal I used to keep at the time. It was like this castle that we're inside of, and it was like zero gravity like structure, you know, like it was pulled apart. You know, so you could like walk, like you could walk down a staircase or like upside down the staircase above. But I remember this thing like, and there's like an infinite space outside that like never ended except like there's some grass outside, right? Like it was like a Super Mario Galaxy level, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say it like that, right? And this thing like attacks me, and it's like we had this like whole dialogue and everything. It was like telling me how much it hated me and like how much it just wanted me to go to hell and all this stuff. And this is so weird, but I end up fighting it. And like I remember praying to God. I was like, because there's another Bible verse about like the sword of the spirit, like all these like armor of God, right? And so I remember in my dream being like, I want the sword of the spirit. And I had this like flaming sword in my hand, right? And I fucking like stabbed this like demon thing, and it like all the fear left me. And it was like gasping and all this stuff. And then like with the sword plunged in it, like we jumped out of the fucking castle onto the ground outside of like this infinite space. And I just started beating its face in. And I was like, you're never allowed back. You're banned from me, dude. And I just remember its like head exploding on the ground and like stabbed everything,
So
like limbs cut off.
Did
Like
you
Anakin
ever
Skywalker on Mustafar or whatever the hell, like times 3, you know? And
did
that
you
was it,
ever
man. And from then, never encountered it again.
Okay,
Ever
yeah,
in my
that's
life.
what I was about to ask. Was did you have a encounter like that afterwards?
It's gone forever, dude. It's
Dude.
so weird, dude.
What a
So weird.
badass dream, dude.
Oh, can I say one more thing too about dreams?
Of course.
I think dreams are really cool because I've shared. I don't know if you've ever had this experience or maybe some of your viewers did, but I've shared dreams with people, which were really interesting. I remember the first time I shared a dream with some guy, it was so stupid. I was 17 years old. I had an AP politics class, and we had presentations to do, right? And our teacher at the time, she would write our names on the board before we got to class, and that would be the order of the presentation. Well, I had a dream the night before that my name was the top of the list. She erased my name. She wrote my name at the bottom of the list, and that was the whole dream. That's all I remember. Well, I show up to school, and before our third period, we had a first and second period, and we had a break for like 15 minutes, and we had third period, which is the AP politics class. And this guy I really never talked to ever. Like we did a project together, but it was more because our mutual friend was involved. But I really never talked to this guy. He comes up to me and he stops me on my way to class, and he goes, "Dude, I just want to tell you something." I was like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "I had a dream last night, and it was weird because all it was your name at the top of the board, and it got erased, and your name got put at the bottom of the board." And I was like, "Well, that's weird. I had the exact same dream, dude. That's really odd." So we're like, "Dude, like, what if we go to class right now? It happens." Like, we're like giggling to ourselves, like, "Oh, this is kind of like Inception type thing, right?" This is back in like 2015, right? And we go to class. I sit down. We all sit down, and on the list of names, my name is the top of the board. And so our teacher is getting ready for the class on her computer. She gets up, preps us for the day and everything, or the class at least. And she just starts to begin teaching, and she goes, "Wait up, give me a second." She turns around, erases my name for no reason at all. Erases my name from the top of the board and writes my name at the bottom of the board. And I was like, me and that guy look at each other like, "Dude, what the? Like, well, that's so weird." And I kid you not, dude. So I was the last presentation of that period that day, and when we finished, if you can find the people from that class somewhere in real life somewhere, they'll tell you, dude. I told them. I after I gave my presentation, I said, "Before I sit down, I want to let you guys know, me and this guy had the same dream about this happening, and it happened." Like, that's weird, right? Like, that's really weird. And people were like freaking out, like, "What? That's Inception." So like, it makes me like, from that experience, it makes me wonder, like, why, like, what are dreams, man? Like, really, what are dreams? Like, where do we go when we sleep? Like, what is that place?
I have had dreams
Very
like
odd.
that. I haven't shared a dream like that with someone, but I have had dreams that then occurred later on in the future.
Yeah, and you have crazy deja vu and stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Take a shot of Bacardi, by the way. Cheers.
I will take a shot of this. What is this? High Noon.
Yeah, onions are
I gotta
great.
crack it
this.
open. My dream was
Yeah.
so I work in the cannabis industry, and
Oh,
I live in Maine. I grew up in Maine, and I lived in Colorado for a year, and that's where I started my interest in the cannabis business. But like 6 years prior, I had a dream that I was like crouching my way through this like grow house. And I can imagine it very vividly, where like, you know, it was this grow house that had automated curtains, and it was like a glass roof, so the plants could get the sun, and you know, all this stuff, and the lattices that went in between the plants so they weren't like collapsing over each other. And then you know, it was very vivid. And then come that time, I find myself crouching through, and I'm looking up, and I see the curtains, and I see the sun and the lattices, and I see all this happening, and I'm like, holy fuck. I dreamed
Yeah,
about
like,
this.
I've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that weird, dude? Like, why? Like, sometimes I think like life is like a movie that we like. It's like a Netflix movie.
Hmm.
Like we saw the trailer, and
Okay,
then
wait.
we just hit play on it, and like we
I have
knew what was
one.
gonna happen.
I have one more. I want to keep this quick because I do want to wrap this up. But
Sure.
I have a deeper question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that we live in a simulation, and despite the fact if we do or not, is this still real?
That's a good question, dude. I mean, again, coming from like my limited perspective as a man living this life, 27 years, right? Who am I to say what everything is? But I do believe in
That's
God,
true.
man. I'm a Christian man. I believe in Jesus and all that. But I think there's a lot more than we understand, because like I know that like we talk about for me personally, and I don't mean to like for the viewers out there that are Christian. I don't want to be
Nice.
blasphemous, but yeah, nice. But there's like for instance the book of Enoch, right? And most people debate about where that book is really written, right? And I've never read it myself, but I've heard talks about like reincarnation and stuff, and um, there's a lot of dispute between some people about like, is there really a heaven and hell, or is there like a place where some people go to, like, do really evil people just go to hell, and like some people go to like a holding place, like Catholics believe, right? Like what is it, purgatory, right? And there's like heaven, right, and all this stuff. But it's really interesting to me. Like, there's a lot of kids that are born, and they have like memories of a past life, right? Like that's really odd to me, you know. And
Yeah,
very
I've seen
interesting,
that before.
really interesting topic of debate, and like trying to understand that. The other thing too is like, where was I going with it?
You're talking about
Oh
like
shit.
people who have a memory of a past life.
Yeah, that. Oh, myself, dude. I remember the moment I became self-sentient, which is really odd. I remember I would talk to my mom about it a lot because she was the first person I talked to. But the moment I became sentient, like self-aware, it was like I came out of a dream-like state, because I was it was like the best way I can describe it was like I was in this abyss. I have a really good memory, man, which is great. Like it's really cool for me. But I have a really good memory, and so when I was like 3 years old, that's when I became sentient. But right before that moment, I remember it was like all I can remember my first moments of life was like I was in this abyss, and it was all black. And I saw all the memories of like what I did as a toddler and like a really infant baby. So I remember being like 1 years old and driving the back of my mom's car to Montana, where I had a family, and meeting cousins that were like still like brand like
Damn.
newborn or like really young. And then I remember being like a 2 year old, and like all the memories affiliated with that, and like Oregon, right? When my mom had family up there, and we went up there. And so I remember it was so weird. I remember I was 3 years old, man, and I had the back of my head pressed against the kitchen cupboard in the kitchen, and it's like I opened my eyes, and the sun was coming through the kitchen window from the left and illuminating the room, and it was like this beautiful day. And I remember coming to and being like, "Oh, this is me now." And that was the first thing I thought, this is me now. And I walked through the kitchen door to down the hallway, and I went and found a living room, and my mom was sitting at my dad's office desk. And I went to her and I said, "Mom, was I just born in the kitchen?" And she goes, "No." It's like, "You were born, here and there, right?" Tells me, and I'm like, "Okay." and that was it. And I just started living life. And even until I was like a late teen, we would talk about that from time to time. I'd be like, Mom, like, do you remember that time I came to you as a 3-year-old kid and I asked you, like, was I just born in the kitchen? And I would tell her that same exact story of like, I saw all these memories that were like, they're like flashbacks. They're like clicking through my head, like dreams really quick. And then I was me out of nowhere. It was the weirdest thing, man. And then suddenly I'm so getting to your question, like, are we in a simulation? I think like we describe it as a simulation because that's a word that like makes sense to us because we simulate things through computers and we make a virtual reality more like reality all the time. But like reality really is real, but yes, there's like a whole different world beyond what we see and feel and touch and hear that I think that most people kind of just don't even begin to try to acknowledge. And I think once you acknowledge that world that really exists behind everything, everything begins to make a lot more sense. You know?
Yeah. Nothing is at surface level.
Nothing, dude. Nothing surface level.
I know, and then I see some fucking Karen in a Target getting pissed because, like, they explained how, like, emails work incorrectly to what she imagined. And I'm like, do you have any, like, existential thought ever? Like, has that ever fucking crossed your mind? You know? It's weird. It's like some people, it's this weird, net where people catch the net in terms of you know, the existentialism of your consciousness at different times. I don't know if that just makes sense what I just said. For me, my I have like really early memories and stuff. I think my earliest memory I was probably 2.5, and it was me chasing my parents' cat around. And then I remember my mom was holding me, and that same cat was like way up in a tree in the woods. And we were like looking at her like from the back door, like still in the house, but like right at the door. That's probably my earliest memory. But I never like really gained like self-regulation and like self-awareness. You know, do you know the word solipsism? Do you know what that is?
I have not. No, explain it to me.
Solipsism is like your consciousness is the only consciousness that you can confirm what is real and what is not. And other people's consciousness are their own possibly fake things. And I feel like I had a subconscious solipsism philosophy until I was about like 18. And then I'll get personal with you and tell you I'm
taking a shot for that. I like you getting personal. Cheers. Yeah.
I cheated on my ex-girlfriend.
Oh no.
And I like obviously the backlash of that. You know, it like rocked my entire consciousness because I was like, holy fuck. Like
someone cared about you.
Somebody cared about me, and I betrayed them. And then all of a sudden, it's like these people have their own thoughts and feelings, and it's almost like a no-brainer. You know, when you start to when that starts to click, you're like, what the fuck? And then, you know, I feel like that was the beginning of my realist form of like realization that I exist. That was like the last step for me to be like, all right, like I am this being in a space that is also occupied by other people who are beings that are sharing the same space. No, I went through a lot of existentialism. I went through a big existential crisis when I was like, 18 to like 21, 22, of just this crazy intense feeling of like, it was like all of a sudden I realized like all these people are doing all these different things outside of my own being. So I've really only had, I'm 24 now, and I've only really had like 6 as of today, in the year 2025. This would have been 2019. So I've only had like 6 years of like confirmed consciousness, pretty much.
I mean, dude, I know I get what you mean, dude, because like I don't know when that hit me either, but like it kind of goes back, like I would like to say it goes back to what I was saying, like life's an adventure and a test. And
yeah, dude, when you said that, I was like, holy fuck, yeah. Dude. Yeah, man.
You like your adventure like was more the way that was, you, right? And it took some time, and like, you hurt somebody, dude, but you can forgive yourself, right? And they've probably forgiven you by now, I'm sure. You learned something really valuable that you move forward with, right? And that's like part of that adventure. Now you apply it to the test, right?
Yeah. No, I struggle with that. I have not reconnected with this person since that happened.
I wouldn't either, dude. leave him. Yeah, just leave him alone.
But it frustrates me. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't. And I am in this constant tug of war of like, do I talk to this person? But then I get sure.
Yeah. I'm listening very intently.
It was like instead of PTSD, it was PISD. It was post-infidelity stress disorder. And I remember I tapped on her Instagram to be like, all right, I'm gonna try and talk to her and just tell her like, all the recollections I felt. And it was just like, I didn't even like see anything. I tapped on her profile, and then it was this like traumatic shock, and I so I've been struggling with that a lot.
Dude, you gotta forgive yourself, dude. Like,
I do forgive myself for whatever. I know I've grown into a much better person. And I think now, it's funny because I was just talking to some other guy about like relationships and stuff, and I value my independence so much more than ever, and a lot of it had to do with the fact of realizing that you don't need to constantly be looking for someone. And that was a big struggle for me of being like, let's take a step back and let's build myself up so I am ready for the person I meet. But for right now, I don't like, I love my independence. I don't want to worry about somebody else's schedule and for sure.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. You get into it when you need to get into it, but
yeah, dude.
Yeah, just it's a learning experience. Dude, I've never cheated, but I've been cheated on twice. Remember my first high school girlfriend. No, not my first high school girlfriend, but like the longest high school relationship I had. She cheated on me, and I know she felt terrible because she texted me all this stuff about like, oh my gosh, like I'm terrible. You have to break up with me because I fucked up. And I was like heartbroken. And that one hit me harder than my ex-wife. You know, like when my ex-wife, I caught her, I was like, ah, fuck it, dude. I'm over this anyway. But yeah, man. Like I see that like those people. Like I've seen other people cheat on other people. They change afterwards because like at least for the most part, some of them never change. But a lot of them
Right.
do because they realize, like, oh shit, like for the same reasons you're talking about, like, oh, like these people actually cared about me, man. I remember I broke up with my girlfriend that I'm with right now, um, after like a month of being together, actually, again, like knowing her for like 3 months. And she was like, can we meet in the park and talk about it? And I'm like, okay. And we met, and I remember verbatim, dude, seeing how sad she was, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like, I had no idea, and like, really, what I talked to her about was like, I had no idea you cared that much. You know, like I didn't know you cared that much, and that was part of the reason I was gonna break up with you, right? And then seeing that she really cared so much, man, I was like, oh, like this is a girl I should keep dating, right? Um, but yeah, man, like seeing that other people go through life literally through the same lens that we're in, and doing all the same steps. They all go through the same thing, dude. They all go wake up in the morning, take off their pajamas, step in the shower, uh, and get ready for the day, go to work, do
Yeah.
their thing, come home. And it's like, dude, like, man, like like everyone, like it makes you gotta look inwards, not outwards at that point, you know, because then you see like everyone else is doing the exact same thing as me. Who am I, right? Like, who am
Yeah.
I to complain or to be, you know, a jerk towards them or anything, right? And it really becomes a, like I said, man, adventure in the test, right? Now that's like a test right there. Like, what's the test? Like,
Yeah.
who are you now that you know how other people are, being exactly like you every day? Are you better or are you worse? You know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, man. Dude, what a talk. Dude, I really like
Yeah.
your introspectiveness on your life and your experiences and
Thank you,
stuff,
bro.
dude. You got a great head on your shoulders.
I appreciate
You might
it, man.
be
I'm definitely
the-
going to work hungover tomorrow.
Dude, I know. So before we even started, you were like, "How long is this gonna be?" And I'll be like, "Dude, it can be like 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long." And now it's been an hour and 26 minutes. And honestly, you might have your own episode because usually I do like 3 or 4 conversations in one episode. You might have your own episode because I love getting deep. I love the deep, talks with people and getting to see the realest side of people, dude.
If I give you my phone number, will you text me the link to the episode?
Sure, dude. Pirate Crowns, thank you so much for talking with me, man. What a chat, dude. I love this.
Anytime, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Anytime, bro.
I wanna thank.
I want the cam, dude. Oh, go. You go.
I want to thank Ice Cream Poppy for being light security work for keeping people away from the camera and shit, because then it kept people away and not hovering over here chatting. So thank you to that guy. That guy was the guy who was talking about his girlfriend pegging him back in like the 4th episode or something like that. Yeah. So
And,
is there any last words? I was about to say, is there any last words you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Viewers see me on VR chat, dude, I'm an open book. Talk to me about literally anything. I'll tell you every detail of my life. I'm not afraid to tell it, and I always do it because I know it gives people another lens to look through. That's it.
Pirate crayons, everyone. Thank you for talking to a guy who's afraid of people named Jake.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. That is the end of this episode of Practically a Podcast. I don't know why my voice is going so, like, weird and low right now. You know, we're just going to stick with it. Because, I don't know. I'm tired. It's 11:15 at night right now. And I want to go to bed. So, I'm going to record this outro. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you like what you heard, consider following me wherever you're listening to this. Rate the show 5 stars wherever you're listening to this. Leave a comment for feedback. Tell me what you enjoyed. Tell me what you disliked. Tell me all of it. And if you just heard a bump right there, that was me hitting my water bottle against my chair. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitch at Jakephobia, and you can follow me on TikTok and YouTube at Jakephobia Guy. Also, make sure to join the Practically a Podcast VR chat group, where you can get updates on new episodes and future events that could go on in the VR chat realms. You can search up Practically a Podcast in the group search tab, or you can look up PRCPOD.3644. That's PRCPOD.3644. Okay. Alright. We're on next episode 17. So I'll see you there. Okay, bye.